Hi there, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I am King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. Another gorgeous day. It was a day that we saw plenty of 70s and even some spots approaching the 80-degree mark. Sunshine helped out a lot with that, and also offshore winds, which are already beginning to change and come more so off of the coast. And that's something we'll see here quite a bit of as we go through the remainder of the work week and into the weekend, next work week too, where we could see some of those snow levels start to drop closer to pass level. We'll talk about that here in a second. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the highs for today and how impressive they were. Getting up to 79 in Puyallup, 77 in Shelton, up to 68 around Bellingham, and the mid-70s around Seattle. So again, pretty impressive day out there for some of our high temperatures, but hey, soak it all up because it might be the last time this year we are this warm. And another thing I wanted to point out too, that fall color out there, well, it's going to start to show up a bit more across areas of the Kitsap Peninsula and Puget Sound. We're right now around more patchy levels, while areas more into the foothills and heading up into the higher terrain, looks like we're getting closer to moderate or nearing that peak level. So we'll continue to see things change here as we go over the next week or so, especially with that fall-like feel coming back into the forecast. Highs going from the 70s today down into the low 60s tomorrow, maybe even a few of us not getting out of the 50s. And that is going to be something that will be kind of going back and forth over the next few days. Upper 50s, lower 60s for highs. Better chances of rain on Thursday, Friday too, and then we start to see those a bit more widespread heading to the weekend as things continue to cool down. You can see that cool down continuing into next work week, and at that point, we're talking maybe about snow levels 4,500, maybe closer to 5,000 feet. Yeah, they're going to be getting down there, as well as our afternoon temperatures. Fall is coming. Here's our school net side, looking at our shoreline area, and yes, you can see a little more of the Cascades off into the distance. We are getting a bit less of that smoke haze to pop up across the skies. We're getting that onshore flow, and here looking in Seattle, clear skies, looking at T-Mobile Park, here into the evening, we expect temperatures to drop into the lower 50s. And then eventually, I think even into the upper 40s, just some additional clouds coming in as we go throughout the latter part of the night. Now, radar doesn't really have a whole lot to tell us right now. It's really spotty as far as any sort of shower activity. But what you're noticing is that band of clouds just off towards the west. Well, that is our cold front. That's going to be bringing in the cooler weather and a little more of that push from off of the coast. There it is right there. Expect that to continue to sweep on through as we head into the night. And then behind that, well, that will be this different pattern, this different air mass that we're going to be dealing with for the rest of the week. So there are the clouds here as we head on into the night. Again, not a whole lot popping up as far as any sort of shower activity. Might see a spotty sprinkle or a patchy area mist here or there, and that includes most of the day for tomorrow with a bit more of those sun breaks. Then we head on into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. Here come more of the clouds. Eventually, higher rain chances. Most of those starting up closer, if not east, of the Cascades heading into early Thursday morning. And then you'll start to see that pivot off towards the west too. What's happening here is we're going to get some moisture to kind of enhance at times, and we're going to get a band that will be more overhead here closer to western Washington, and it depends on where exactly it sets up, because where we get it to set up, that's where we'll get more of the noteworthy totals with this as far as rain is concerned. And that will hang with us throughout the latter part of Thursday into Thursday night and into the day on Friday, where we're going to continue to keep some chances. So just keep that in mind when I show you some of the totals right here. It's not going to be an exact depiction on what's going to happen with some of the totals, but just be aware there could be some spots that pick up only a trace to 1/10 of an inch, while some spots could get closer to about 1/4 to maybe 1/2 an inch of rain as we go over the next 2 to 3 days. And it doesn't mean that we're going to exactly get it right there across parts of southwest interior and heading across more of the Olympic Peninsula. Again, that could change, so we'll keep you posted on that. What is going to be a given is we're going to see that this area of low pressure sweeps its way off towards the east. That's going to bring in more widespread rain heading into Saturday. Here we are at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll see a better chance to head into Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, into Sunday, and then you can see that big blow up of the system. Really what's happening here is we're getting some additional moisture and a bigger push of some of that cooler air from the north. That's why you're seeing a bit more of that white and blue popping up across Alberta and British Columbia, and eventually down this way around more of the Pacific Northwest for some of the higher terrain. And that continues to spin and bring us more opportunities for wet weather. And maybe again, we could be talking about maybe the first flakes getting closer to pass level, maybe staying just above, but something we'll keep an eye on for. Nothing major as of yet as far as any sort of accumulations, though, as this is going to be sweeping on through, and we'll be done with that by the time we head on closer to maybe next Wednesday or next Thursday. But either way, we're going to see some big changes as we head over the next week. Temperatures tonight dropping down into the 40s, more so upper 40s around Puget Sound. Outside of there, expect to see more low to mid 40s. And then our highs tomorrow will top off in the low to mid 60s with areas farther to the north seeing more of the 50s. Here's your 7-day forecast. Fairly quiet day tomorrow. Just expect a spotty chance of a shower. Then we'll head into Thursday and we'll see the better chances of rain moving on through along with Friday and then continuing our cooling trend and also our lowering of our snow levels heading on into next week. I know it's not anything that's given quite yet, but it's kind of exciting to know that we are going to start to see things become a lot more fall-like and maybe start to get some snow up there across the higher terrain, and maybe that will be a sign of things to come as we go later on into the month of October. Okay, everyone, enjoy your Tuesday night. Have a terrific one. We'll talk to you soon.